Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Smart Flip with me and Matt. Glad to have you guys here. Appreciate you guys hopping on. I know a lot of you guys are out and about picking up phones and electronics and making that money and just listen
Yeah.
to us while you're in your car, while you're listing phones, while you're doing whatever you're doing. And we get messages from you guys all the time about that, and I'm really, we're really happy. Make sure, and I'm getting better at this YouTube stuff, so make sure to like and subscribe. And also, guys, this show does not reach a ton of people, and we want it to reach a ton of people because we want a lot of people to win. We want a lot of people to, uh, you know, financially become independent in the way that we have, because we think we have the skill set, and when you have a skill set, it is your duty to spread that word to the world to help other people. So.
Yep.
At least that's what I was told in my entrepreneurial journey is if you know something that other people don't, you should share it.
Hey.
So, by the way, we do have some cool things. If you would check out the descriptions and stuff below on the podcast, on Spotify, on wherever, there is stuff that you can check out. I think Console Kings is in there, my book, the school group, all of that stuff. It might change depending on when you're listening to this, but check it all out. The book right now is free on episode 11 of the podcast. It's about a 2 hour listen. Lots of nuggets in there. So it's Tech Flips to Profit ebook on episode 11, completely free. If you want the PDF version, you can buy that for $4.95. Uh,
Nice.
and yeah, so with that being said, guys, let's pop in. And guys, we're going to be talking about AI today. So I need to stress how important it is to start learning about AI right now because, and I know a lot of people are just like, yeah, how is AI going to affect this industry? Well, guys, it already has. Um, like we are seeing it like okay, example, we onboarded a new student in a Recelerator yesterday. I
Hmm.
gave him 7 AI agents that he can use in his business with his employees, and it basically turns his employees into super employees. I'm not even lying. I showed him, and this is a guy that's been in the business for 10 years. Okay? 10 years. He's been doing this business for a long time. And I showed him all of this yesterday, and he's like, dude, you just cut my like work day by like 6 hours. Because number one, we showed him how to find deals with AI. We showed him how to list items on eBay with AI. We showed him how to grade phones with AI and a lot of other stuff with just AI, just with Chat GPT. That's not even including some other stuff. And I don't, I need to stress this, how aggressively this is going to change the marketing aspect of this business.
Yep.
Matt, you're already seeing it, you know,
Yeah, it's real.
like we're using it now to answer our students in like full detail, you know? Like and it's making us like super owners, you know, like super employees because we're there's something called executive communication in like a workforce
Yeah.
where you want to explain something so well that it only has to be explained once. And the great thing about AI is it allows you to do that in literally seconds. So it's I want to take this episode and I want to address AI and what it's going to do, in my opinion, to the industry, because it's gonna make shockwaves. It's already
Yeah.
making shockwaves in the workforce. So I mean, that's a big part of it right there. Is with the rise of AI, a lot of very redundant jobs are going to be neutralized. Like I'm
Hmm.
not like I'm talking like gone. Okay, like data analysts and little things like that. AI can replace them in seconds. What can't, what, here's what AI can't replace, at least right now, is the human experience of buying a phone, like buying a phone from somebody in person. Like that inherently, that's always going to be a need unless robots start flipping phones, as a side hustle, right? Which I don't see that happening anytime soon. But, a couple days ago, I got the Meta glasses. Guys, I'm telling you, it's a brand new world. Like it's crazy out there. I can, with the glass, I don't have them on right now, but like I can just be like, "Hey, Meta, what am I looking at?" And
Mm.
it'll tell me.
That's wild.
So it's like it's progressing very fast, and if you're not on the AI train, you will get left behind. That's the thing. And like it's being like the mass market adoption of AI right now is very fast. Like incredibly. If you don't have it, your business is going to be left behind by next year, kind of thing.
Wow.
Which is scary to think about if you like if you look at it.
Yeah.
I met a guy the other day who man, it's a harsh reality. Like he's like, yeah, we only hire humans to do, human jobs because we want to employ human jobs. And I'm like, I understand that. I get it. But the thing is AI can do it for cheaper. It can do it faster, and it doesn't even have a deadline. Like it can be done in seconds, whereas like a human can have it done in, not seconds.
Right.
Because we have other stuff we do, right? So it's scary to think about, but like that dude will probably be out of business.
Hmm.
And that I hate to say that, but like it's true.
Yeah.
And now how does this come into flipping, right? Well, number one, there's going to be new technologies that arise out of this. We're
Yeah.
already seeing it with the meta glasses. We are going to be flipping glasses very soon, if you're not already. I'm already flipping them. I bought a pair for retail because I couldn't find one locally. But like once the mass adoption starts on like the version 2, version 3, which is typically what happens, right? Like people don't really adopt until there's like the newest, greatest version. I bought it early to see what it was about, and guys, it's like it's talking in my head. It's insane. Like I prefer the glasses over my AirPods at this point. Like I don't have to stick anything with my ear. It's like it's right there that I can still hear everything, but the same, it's wild. So like
That's pretty cool.
yeah, it's like I'm telling you guys, this stuff is gonna take over. Like we're not just gonna be flipping phones in 2 to 3 years. It'll be AI glasses and AI this and AI that. Everything's gonna be built on AI, which is scary because could have an AI overlord that knows everything about everybody pretty soon. But
Hmm.
I mean, we're just humans here on Earth trying to survive and make money and live the best life we can. So, of course,
Yeah.
we got to play in the sandbox that we're given.
That's a fair point. I mean, AI is in the sandbox. It's entered the chat.
hmm
It's entered the chat.
Now, what have you noticed? I know you keep a light pulse on how things are going, but what like in the console game,
Sure.
what do you see happening with
Well,
the AI
I
thing?
mean, there's already the integration within Recelerator and soon to be Console Kings of utilizing AI to help source deals. And, I think that's a given. A machine can scrub data, right?
Yeah.
To very, very easily and very efficiently and very consistently look for the same stuff that people can look for and find.
Yep.
I think the thing that you still have to know though is like if you don't know what to look for and you don't know the boundaries to paint,
Yes.
then ultimately there's still a human skill there that needs to be learned and understood. Um, Simply knowing, what a good offer might be for an item and what to offer it, you could go buy it, but there's still, I think, a good bit more to the reseller experience. And so I don't want to give the machines more credit or credibility than they deserve, but at the same time, they're why is this even helpful as a reseller? Especially if somebody's flipping consoles because it can efficiently do things that you do routinely, um, and free up your capacity to focus on what's more important, right? If there's
Yep.
something out there that can help you source 10 deals a day, and now all of a sudden, each of those moments you're spending 3 to 5 minutes less looking for said deal, um, now you have a whole nother hour at your disposal almost to do something else, to work on your business rather than in your business. Um, people can frame that, I think at the end of the day, we have to keep this in like healthy perspective. Um, if AI is going to be useful for any sort of entrepreneurial purpose, hopefully it is to free up time,
Yes.
energy, and focus. And if you have more time, energy, focus, those are your most valuable resources, right? Those are the things that you're given a limited supply within a day, 24 hours, and the amount of time that you're awake, right? So if those things are free, like how do you want to use those, right? Because at the end of the day, the whole purpose of building a business is is time freedom, right? That's what this is all about. It really is about freedom. And so how do I then spend what I have remaining? Because time is a currency, right? We spend it just like money. How do I spend that with people I care about, making decisions that I think that's probably the biggest thing for me if I really had to speak to it. Like the decision fatigue is a real thing. And I think when you're a younger entrepreneur, you don't realize like that later through the week or later through the day, you're probably not the best version of yourself. This computer called your brain, it's not making the best decisions. So is
True.
there something that can remove the emotion from that, right? Because sometimes where emotion prevails, intelligence is absent, and it can cloud our judgment. And so I do like the reason artificial intelligence. I do like that it's there to help someone make a very objective decision without all of that stuff muddying the water. And for me, I feel like that's the main thing that kind of keeps me in the conversation because I have mixed feelings about AI, but I also don't believe it's going anywhere. I only believe it's going to increase and surge from here.
I also have mixed feelings. Like I don't want it to take over the world, but I want it to stay very useful at the same time. Like
Yeah,
the way I look at it right now is it's a very healthy assistant that allows me to think objectively. Because I'm just going to be real. We all have bias. Like no matter like I don't
yeah,
care how neutral you think you are. We all
mhm,
have bias. And I use AI a lot to number one, all right, how can I put myself in my customer's shoes? Like what would they be thinking right now if this was going on? Right? Like
yeah,
I use it for a lot of neutrality and keeping things very consistent. I use AI to do my visualization exercises every day now. And here's why. Like this morning, I asked it like, hey, what does this podcast look like next year?
hmm,
Like when we get to 200 episodes, what does a podcast look like? And I was able to visualize what I thought, and then it basically visualized on top of that. And it expanded my mind even further on like what this could be, right? So
yeah,
like I use it for visualization exercises at this point. Like what does my family look like in 10 years? What does the business look like in 10 years? Like what does all this look like in 10 years? Like I
hmm,
like to do that. I like to do 1 year. I'll even have it like help me write letters to myself
hmm,
5 years from now, you know? And um so like but I really like to use it to think objectively
hmm,
um, with data and analysis instead of like now you do have to be careful with it. Like it will like it has its own bias towards you because it wants you to like what it writes, I think. Like there's no emotion behind that. But like it's programmed to give you what you want.
yeah,
I have to be clear on that. Like it is programmed to give you what you want. You have to literally tell it like, "Hey, I need you to be like brutally honest and
yeah,
with no bias whatsoever based on who I am and tell me tell me the real facts behind this."
hmm,
And it will, and it'll be brutal.
hmm, hmm,
I've done that many, many times. And dude, sometimes Matt, like, I mean, you've told me this, but AI has also told me this. It's like, hey, we just need to keep doing what we're doing.
hmm,
We don't need to reinvent the wheel. What we
yeah,
have works. Just keep doing it longer.
yeah,
Like and that's a hard thing for me to do, because I like to build. That's my thing. I'm a systems guy. I just like to
right,
build stuff. And it's
yeah,
fun for me. But like I'm always like, especially with Recelerator, I'm like, how do I make the client experience, better and better and better? Even though every client we have had is like, yeah, this is an amazing thing. Like, like I'm always
yeah,
like, I'm actually reading a book right now called The Customer Success Manifesto. And
right. It's good, guys.
it's a good book. Yeah, I love it. It's
Agree,
more about
agreed
coaching
really well.
people and things like that. But um, it was talking about how, you want to meet or exceed your customer expectations almost every time. So like, and that goes back to what I talk about a lot is like uh, under promise and over deliver, right? I talk about that a lot with selling things on eBay, right? I will take pictures of an item maybe with a few of the stains or something still on it, and then I'll wipe
Yeah.
them off before I ship it out. That way it shows
Yeah.
up better than what I ever listed it for, right? You never like, and AI can help you do that. That's the crazy part about it. Like we built a custom GPT for eBay listings that
That's
is
dope.
now an AI employee inside of our Recelerator program. Guys, all you have to do is like, I did this the other day. Hey, Lister, I bought an Xbox Series S with a broken HDMI port. It's a little dirty, but it's used and it turns on. Go ahead and write me a listing. And boom, boom, bang, it wrote the entire listing. Even better than I would have. Like that, like it takes the skills that you already have and expands them.
It's legit.
So like if you have the skills, which we teach,
Right.
there's a reason we teach you have to have the skill to be good with AI, right?
Yeah.
You also know how to prompt it correctly,
Yeah.
which is a skill in and of itself.
Yeah.
Now, I will say AI has gotten very good at prompting itself. Um,
Mhm.
that's like I think prompt engineers are going to be kind of out the door in about a year.
Oh
um,
man.
just because it's gotten so good at giving me like what I want off of very little data that I give it. So it's pretty wild. But like I'm what I'm saying here with this long-winded approach is like if you are not at least spending 30 minutes a day learning how to use AI, and if you're not using AI right now, man, I feel like feel like I'm giving everything over to the Terminator by saying this. Like, like I hate it, but like if you use it even once, you understand how much time it can give back. That's the
Yeah.
scary part about it, is like the writing eBay listings, doing all the stuff that people hate. This eliminates it.
Yeah.
And that's the dopamine hit. It's like once you see what it can do and how much time it can save you,
Yeah.
it just like
It's
you
true though.
understand the benefit. Like, and that's the scary part about it is like that's how it hooks you. Is like it gives you back like maybe like 3 or 4 hours of your time every single day. I used to
Yeah.
write emails and it used to take me like 3 hours to write, a week's worth of emails.
Yeah. Writing good copy is a mental grind because people don't understand the psychology of what it takes to get people to click or say yes. And, if you've done it, you've done it and you know. And if you don't, and you're like, that's not hard, then you know what?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my gosh, dude. Like
yeah.
writing copy is hard, man.
Yeah.
Writing
Good
words
copy
that
is
sell
legit.
is a very difficult thing to do. Whether you're doing it for eBay listings or you're doing it for just email marketing or
Yeah.
Facebook ads or whatever, like
Yeah.
writing words that sell stuff
Yeah.
is not an easy thing to do.
Yeah. That's
Um,
fair.
but AI does make it 10 times easier. Like if I want to try out a new Facebook ad copy, I can be like, hey, here's a Facebook ad copy that's worked for 3 years. Can
Hmm.
you write up 10 more just
Hmm.
like it, just in a different way?
Hmm.
And it will. It'll do it like that,
Yeah.
that fast.
On that note, I think I kind of want to throw this in as like suggestion for people that are listeners, especially for those of you. Now, there are a number of people that join up, and what I'm gathering, Chris, is that oftentimes we have people that join Recelerator or Console Kings that have some mileage with this podcast and have listened to it for a while. For those of you that listen here consistently, for those of you that are still new but have flipped or sold consistently, if I were you, I might encourage you to take some action steps from this conversation Chris and I are having to do this. Make a list of the things that you enjoy doing within your business and the things you don't enjoy doing. Whatever those things you don't enjoy doing, let's call those red lights and yellow lights, things that stop you in your tracks or slow down your progress, right? The green lights give you a boost, but the others don't. Could those things actually be outsourced to AI? Could you actually ask Grok or Chat GPT or one of those that are out there, hey, is there a way that AI could actually assist me? So ask AI if it can
Yes.
create some kind of AI to help you,
Yep.
right, with the things that you suck at or the things that drain you, right? I think that would just be an immediate, like, refresher, and it'd probably be like a really great boost for your business for you to spend less time grinding in the crap that you hate because maybe you just feel really tired right now. Maybe I don't know, something's really struggling. But I know that for me, like as I kind of casually move further um, into this field of AI, like that's how I'm going to utilize it. That's what I'm going to be doing. Be like, all right, what are the things that Matt loves? I'm going to keep doing that because I love it, right? What are the things I hate? Okay, help me with this.
Yeah. No, I mean, um, so I used it. I was talking with my mom a few weeks ago about this, and she's learning how to be a legal nurse consultant.
Okay.
And I was like, Mom, are you using AI yet in that field to read the reports? And she was like, No, not yet, because it probably wouldn't do a very good job because of my experience. And I'm like, I want you to try it and see what it says.
Uh-huh.
And she did. And she's like, Oh my God.
Shocked.
Yeah. So the thing is like, and the thing is she was being billed by the, like, she was billing by the hour. And
Hmm.
the problem with this is like, you won't be able to hide behind bill per hour very long once people start integrating AI into every aspect of their jobs. Simply because
Yeah.
it won't take you hours to read anything anymore. Okay? Like I can literally take a photo of this book and it can give me everything about this book that I need, and then I can ask it, all right, how can I apply this to my business right now? Here's my
Yeah.
business model, here's what I do, and it will freaking tell me.
Right. That's like a book in 1 minute, man.
Exactly. Like
That's frightening.
it is frightening. And like once she realized that, she was like, "Oh wow." And she's like, she just learned this. But the thing is like if she knows how to use it, that makes her incredibly valuable, right?
Yeah.
Like it's the people that don't know how to use it and don't know how to configure it and ask the right questions because that's a skill in and of itself. Is like you have to know the right questions to ask and you have to be very clear,
Yeah.
especially when you're training a bot, because it's like a very high like it's like an incredibly it's a super intelligent child is what it is. Like is that's exactly what it is. But you have to be very clear on what you're asking for, but and it will tell you. So I showed her that, and then I was like, look, here's how you can utilize here's what I did. And this is how we actually created the AI employees for Recelerator that are actually built into the curriculum now that you can quote unquote hire once you finish the skill section of the curriculum, which I thought was pretty cool. Um, but basically, you can unlock AI employees now once you learn the skill of like negotiation and listing and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but I asked AI, I was like, hey, how can I utilize AI better in my current business? And it listed out like 7 things. It was like you can create custom GPTs for all of your SOPs. You can basically turn your systems and operations manuals that you already have into like a chat bubble, dude.
Hmm.
Like I uploaded everything on eBay listing to one of these things. And now instead of like going and finding the document and reading it,
Hmm.
you can just ask and it will give you a custom answer for your custom question. And that is incredible. Guys, I trained an AI on my YouTube channel. It 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 read all of the transcripts for every video that I've ever put up. It can answer things better than I can. So,
With the appropriate data.
with the appropriate data to go with it. So, like I swear, like I feel like I'm feeding the Terminator here, but like it's if I don't if we don't integrate it, we get left behind. That's the only problem. Like the business won't survive, basically. If you don't, and that's any business, which is sad, but at the same time, it's true. So like it's a hard conversation because you feel like you're feeding the Terminator, but at the same time, like you still got to feed your family. Like
Yeah. If
it's
there's something that you're doing more than once, guys, and you can automate it,
yeah.
there's now things at your disposal that can automate that for you. And you may not even have to hire a VA, right? Like, is that going to save you money in the long run?
Or you
How
could hire the
valuable would
VA
it
and
be?
have them. You can also just hire the VA and have the AI train them.
That's true. Yeah, you could go that route.
Yep.
Gosh, what does it mean if there's ways to sort of replicate the stuff that only I can do or only you can do, Chris, or only people listening to this can do? Like once you put the appropriate information in there and it can do that on your behalf,
Yeah.
that's that's liberating. I ain't gonna lie. It's liberating.
Yeah. Like I mean, I have the whole Recelerator curriculum already uploaded to an AI. Like an employee could just ask,
Hmm.
"Hey, here's what this customer said. What do I say back?" And it would literally give them what to say back. So it can
Yeah.
really train them, right?
Yeah.
Like I was talking with the guy we onboarded yesterday, and I was walking him through how I turn Chat GPT into a customer.
Hmm.
Um, and he was blown away. He was like, "Bro, this can train my employees at like record speed without losing deals."
Pretty dope.
And I was like, "Yes, it can."
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he was asking me, he's like, "How do I train my VA to close deals?" I'm like, "Well, number one, you want to train them without losing deals.
Yeah.
You can utilize AI for this, and you can
Yeah.
basically you can have your employee or your VA or whatever go and have 20 conversations a day with this AI,
Hmm.
and they can send you the details, like they can send you the share of the chat, so you can look at their work." And he was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, dude, you can train them in record time, man. You
Pretty
just tell
cool.
them to follow the script and talk with the AI, and they can become closers in a very little amount of time." That's how fast this is going, guys. Like we went from having to like hire people and train them over the course of 1 to 3 months to
Yeah.
somebody can get trained in like a week.
Yeah. Like a year ago, this was not like, I don't even know that we would thought about having this conversation, which is like
Mm-mm.
wild. Like, because we still had people that were in the Slack channel that were like, yeah, I've got like two, three VAs, you know,
Yeah.
or they're cycling VAs because they're trying to find the right person, and this
Yes.
just like changes the narrative. It really does.
Yeah. It's a it's a thing. Like half of the questions I ask now, I answer with AI inside of
Yeah.
Slack, and the reason for that is like I've basically uploaded my brain. It kind of sounds crazy to say that to Chat GPT in a specific folder. And
Hmm.
now, like, if I get a question, like a good example of this was yesterday. Somebody
Hmm.
had an issue that honestly I wasn't sure of, but I know that I've come across it before and I've talked about it, but I
Hmm.
couldn't remember the exact, and that's the problem with our brains, right? We can't recall very well sometimes, especially once we've seen a lot of stuff. What was it? It was in the general or random chat maybe.
Hmm.
Like AI built out a very good answer for it. I can't remember what it was, but it was like, oh, it was something about a Verizon unlock policy thing, 60 days, and like why did I think Oscar, one of our new guys, joined and asked that question. Yeah, here it is. So yeah, he was like, "Can somebody help me with some information? I bought an iPhone 14 Pro Max locked by Verizon. I understand that Verizon doesn't lock most phones, and I've heard that locked phones unlock after 3 months. Is that true? If so, why isn't this one unlocked if it's over a year old?" And I somewhat knew the answer, but I didn't fully know the answer. So
Hmm.
what I did is I went to ChatGPT, literally copied and pasted this question in, and it gave a massively long answer. Well, it wasn't super long, but we gave him every single thing that he could do to see why it
Hmm.
might not be unlocked because there was like five different reasons. And
Hmm.
there's no way my brain would have recalled all five reasons.
Yeah.
And then this morning he was like, "Good morning. Thank you so much for all this information. It's very valuable and I appreciate it very much."
Wow.
And that's because I was able to executively communicate the knowledge that I already had, but I just couldn't recall all of it because
Hmm.
there was multiple reasons for that thing.
Yeah.
So but the fact, and then he really he messaged me. He's like, "Dude, I really appreciate that answer. I found out why." um, but I used AI to help me build that.
Hmm.
Um, so guys, this thing is moving very fast. I was telling Matt before the call, This thing is growing about 100 times faster than the internet, and that's crazy. Like that's a wild thing.
It is.
The only reason that people haven't looked into it yet or implemented it into their business is honestly probably because you haven't used it. Once you
Fear.
use it, the value proposition, huh?
Fear could
Yeah.
be.
I mean that's part of it. Like I'll tell you guys the first like I kept hearing about Chat GPT. I kept seeing it on the news. I kept seeing all this stuff. And I'm a pretty early adopter. I'm a doer. I'm an early adopter. That's who I am. Then when the new things come out, I'll be one of the first people to jump on it. Just because I like to be ahead of the curve. And um, the only reason most people are probably against it is because they haven't used it yet. I mean, that I'm gonna say that because once you use it, the value proposition and the value and time that it gives you back is ridiculous. And once you realize it, you can't unsee it,
Yeah.
which is scary.
Yeah.
Like what used to take me 2 hours now takes me like 10 seconds.
Hmm.
Scary how good it is. And it's just getting better. It made another update this morning. Like I got an email about another update that Chat GPT got even better at coding. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like this is crazy. And the thing is this is going to be implemented into like Marketplace Monitor. Like we are actively, I'm a strategic partner with them now. AI is going to be built into that very soon. Uh,
Hmm.
it's already incredibly good. Um, It's already implemented in Resell Deck a lot. We're replying to reviews on Google with AI. Like Like it's going to remove a lot of the redundant work and it's going to allow a lot of flippers to focus on what they do best, which is buying and negotiating and selling
So
without
what you're
all the
saying,
A
Chris,
steps.
this is the future of reselling and owning a buyback business.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying without sounding like I'm turning everything over to, you know,
Skynet, the Terminator.
I feel like Skynet is almost operational and I like it's like in one case you hate using it, but in another case it's like if I don't adapt, I
Yeah.
die. Kind of
Yeah.
thing. So it's a
Yeah.
very you're definitely between a rock and a hard spot here.
Yeah.
Um, you know,
I think you just have to, I think this is like, you don't give a 3-year-old a gun and you don't put an 8-year-old behind the wheel of a car,
yeah,
right? So, guys, like, I think, the concerns are real, but also, like, how do you go into this with cautious optimism,
yeah,
right? And to quote, like, Carmine Falcone says something in Batman Begins, like, when Bruce Wayne's, like, gone all the way over to, like, he's gone the world over and he comes back and he's like, you come down here without a gun, I'm insulted. He goes, you come down here with your fear and your anger, trying to prove something to yourself, but you just don't understand. And he looks at Bruce Wayne and he goes, and you always fear what you don't understand. Right? So guys, if you
sure.
if you have concerns, it's because you don't have the understanding, right? What do you need? You need informed optimism. Go back and watch that. That was like a week ago where we
Yeah,
went through, that cycle. So shout out to the previous podcast we did last week.
yeah,
But once you have informed understanding, right, you've informed your understanding, you can make informed decisions and you have informed optimism that, you know what, maybe me and AI could do this together,
yeah.
without, um, I don't know, signing my life away or losing my soul or whatever people think. The only things I think that are like, really weird was, all right, I did hear one story where they taught AI how to interpret language and it was communicating with another AI and they immediately
Yes.
created their own language that no one could understand and it was speaking beyond what was comprehensible, which is frightening. Um, the other thing
Yeah.
was this biologist who specifically studied birds and said, we are feeding animal sounds into this AI so that it can understand based on the sounds that the animals are articulating, specifically in this case, birds, what the birds are actually saying. And then it will begin to dictate an actual language. So we want to learn to talk to birds. And that's when the
Dude.
top flew off of my brain, bro. I
Oh
went,
my
what? We're
gosh.
gonna be talking to birds? Like I'm gonna be like Snow White, sitting at the window, just knowing what the robin that's chirping by the worms is saying to me, Chris. This is
I mean, dude, I used AI
wild.
a few months back because I wanted to understand what was going on in my 4-year-old's brain because I
Yeah.
couldn't get him to focus, you know.
Oh, okay.
He's a
Okay.
4-year-old, like he doesn't have ADHD, he's just four, you know.
Right.
um, but I asked AI or I asked Grok specifically. I was like,
Yeah.
what is happening? Like, what is going through the mind of my 4-year-old whenever
Hmm.
he's like running around the house?
Hmm.
And it told me. And dude, it's like a tornado in that brain. It's like
Bro.
everything they see, they like cup, ooh, phone, ooh, whiteboard, ooh, like it's just constant. And
Wow.
I was like, how do I like direct that energy? Like,
Right.
and it was like you have to make everything a mission. Like, like they 4-year-olds, 4 through 10, they'll focus on things when it's a quote unquote mission, you
Hmm.
know? And
Interesting.
so I gave him a mission and
Hmm.
he did it because it
That's
was a
awesome.
singular focus and it
That's
was
awesome.
fun, right? So
Yeah.
like I like to use AI in those types of cases where it's like, all right, I need to understand this a little bit better. And one
Yeah.
of my best prompts for AI right now is, can you explain this to me like I'm an eighth grader? Or can you explain this to me like I'm a fifth grader?
Oh,
And
that's
it will
good.
literally break it down into dummy terms.
That's
And
really
I
good.
will understand the whole concept very fast. And I mean, Matt, you've seen me ask that question many
Yeah. Mhm.
just as students, be like, can you explain what's happening to me like I'm five, you know? And
Yeah.
and it makes you rethink. And honestly,
Yeah.
sometimes they figure out their own answer by doing that, which is kind of wild, actually. Um,
Yeah.
but um, I mean, it's an adapt or die scenario, guys. I'm starting to notice it, and I hate to even say it. Like, I'm a big follower of Andy Frisella, and he was against AI for a long time, and then he used it, and then
Right.
he was like, okay, I see. And and that's exactly what he said. He's like it number one, it can give me an objective viewpoint, which a lot of humans can't do, right? Like everybody has a motive. I
Yeah.
don't care, right? Like every single human being has a motive. They want to make money from you, they want something from you, they want to persuade you to do something, right? AI doesn't do that. It's just it's just neutral all the way, unbiased completely. And
Yeah.
so like once he realized that, he I mean he's not happy that he like quote unquote had to buy into it, you know.
Right.
Um, but he realized like, all right, this is a tool that or this is a toy that's in the sandbox, and this is my sandbox, and I basically have to use the tool, or otherwise I can't have the toy, kind of thing.
Right.
It's you know
Yeah.
it's it's a thing. Um, it is what it is, but.
Hmm.
Enough of the negatives. I think like there's a lot of positives that can be utilized for the reselling business.
Hmm.
Like guys, we are utilizing it like crazy inside of Recelerator right now. Um,
Yeah.
I did a launch for our AI employees about 2 weeks ago, and I've gotten incredible feedback back. Um, it's helping people list faster. It's helping people negotiate better. It's helping people price better, grade better.
Hmm.
It's helping people do a lot of things. It's helping them analyze their ads better for Facebook and Google. Like they don't have to reach out to me for that anymore. I'm basically working myself out of a job there, But
Funny.
like I want people to be self-sufficient.
Yeah.
That's our goal because our ultimate goal is to buy stuff from people, buy devices from people.
Yeah.
Um, and like I mean, I even built one for meetups, which is crazy to think about because I have a whole systems and operations manual for how to meet up with people correctly so that you can turn them into repeat customers.
Yeah.
And Like you can literally ask it like, "Hey, this guy is about to come through the door. Here's what we've been talking about. Can you give me exactly what to say to help me turn him into a repeat customer for a long time?" And it will
Mhm.
literally tell you what to do. And that's how wild it is right now. And
Mhm.
and this is just scratching the surface. We use it now to build logos. We use it to build the business basics like the Gmail. Um, we use it to help us find deals on Marketplace. It can literally analyze deals for us on Marketplace now.
Yeah.
I showed a student how to do that a few days ago, and their mind was blown. Like I just copied the whole list of items on Marketplace and Marketplace Monitor, and I basically said, AI, go find deals based on my parameters, and it did. And it was like, and it'll tell you what to do. It'll be like, hey, reach out to this person right now and make an offer. Or hey, reach out to this person but negotiate. It's very powerful. Very powerful. So
Mhm.
no lie. And then once we upload Matt's pricing sheets into it, it'll be even more powerful.
Yeah. Well, Matt's working on that.
Oh yeah? Heck yeah.
Oh,
Let's freaking
yeah.
go. So yeah, we'll have AI built into Console Kings here pretty soon. Probably a little Console Kings custom GPT. They'll be like,
Yeah.
hey, I want to buy, a PS Pro whatever today. What do I need to look for, kind of thing.
Hmm.
And it would tell you exactly what to do. Which is
Yep.
the crazy thing about it. Like you don't have to probably don't even need the over the shoulder. I think that's the way learning is going to go as well. Now that we're on that topic, I think that's the way learning is going to happen
Yeah.
moving forward over the next couple of years. Is we won't need to watch videos anymore for how to do things to find that one little nugget.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
like we can just ask. We can just ask, and it would tell
Yeah.
us what to do.
Yeah. I think it's really helpful that there is a solution for things that can replicate the tutelage that a coach brings to the table, right? Because to have that extra reassurance and confidence is a big deal. And it's hard as a coach. Like Chris, you know this, you can't handhold everybody. Um, you want to help people as much as you can, but eventually you have to find some kind of solution to resolve that concern. And hopefully this will work in our favor to help people have greater confidence as they build their business. And that I'm excited about that, if I had to be honest.
Yeah, we're not. I mean, as far as like gatekeeping goes, we're definitely gonna like this is staying inside of Recelerator only. You guys will still be able to learn everything on YouTube and stuff like that. But the thing is like this is once you know how to use this, it's a weapon, and it will help you scale your business faster than you ever thought possible.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part about it, guys. Like, no joke. It's it's gonna grow very fast,
Yeah.
and you will need less and less employees, and you will be able to scale with more margin faster once you like use it.
Yeah.
And I mean that's one of the main ingredients that drives people is greed, right? So it's sadly, I mean,
Yeah.
unfortunately, it's part of the thing that we need to, it's part of the ingredients that we need to actually like live life currently on this planet. So it's a driver for everybody. So um well with that being said, Matt, do you have anything else on this? Like,
Um, no, I just think people should, if they haven't dipped their toes into these waters yet, I think, again, you're gonna tend to avoid what you don't understand. And so, do yourself a favor, just kind of starting to cultivate some sort of awareness with maybe Chat GPT. I predominantly use either Chat GPT or Grok.
yeah,
But there's a lot of choices out there, and there's a lot of people who profess to be right at the cutting edge. And yeah.
yeah. I think um I don't think you should like go out and learn AI to teach AI. Like I highly recommend like learning AI to build number one, build you
Hmm.
and make you a much better thinker because it can do that. And
Yeah.
then build it into what you're already doing. If you already have a skill set in something, AI will amplify it. It'll amplify that skill set. And I think like if you have a job right now and you're not utilizing AI to finish the job or the task that you have faster, you probably need to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, somebody will. And
Yeah.
you will. probably be let go because you are not as skilled as the other person. And that person, like, here's a good example. So, or here's a scenario that could possibly happen. For those of you that do have jobs right now, I'm not saying you're going to lose your job, but here's what I am saying is, and this is how I look at it as an employer of people, right? Is if I have one guy that's using AI and he can do the work of three other people or maybe five other people in less time, why do I need the other four?
Mhm.
I can just pay this one guy more to get and and at the end of the day, you're actually paying less because you were paying four other people, you
Yeah.
know? So I'm just saying if you're not learning it, you will get left behind. It is a skill, just like how we had to learn how to use the internet and how to
Yeah.
use social media. Like it's the same thing.
Or email.
Yeah, for real. Like if you
Yeah.
didn't know how to send an email, the likelihood that you were going to get a job was like low. You know, like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it really comes down to at this point. Like if you don't know how to use these tools, and that's what these are tools,
Yeah.
and you don't know how to use them well, I mean, you don't become as effective anymore. Just because you can show up and put the hours in isn't going to be the determining factor anymore. So it's, you know, I mean, Matt, you're muted, but guys, I'm serious. Like this is something that's going to be, it's coming.
Definitely.
Coming.
Definitely.
I mean, Matt, you were a teacher.
Yeah.
Do you think
hmm
AI could teach better?
Um, I think it depends. There's never going to be anything to replace the warmth of another presence of like
Agreed on that. Yes.
you know,
But would it make you a super teacher?
um I think its capacity to convey what is essential to sift through the information that is urgent and cutting edge. Here's what I think is difficult. Really good teachers have been seasoned and experienced in a field for so long that generally, if somebody's very good at what they do, they've whittled it down to the essentials.
That's fair.
Part,
Yeah.
part of what takes so long and is so difficult within any field, guys, including reselling, is how long do I need to be in the game until I know the
Mm.
basics of what I need to know, and I know the stuff that is just fluff, it's fat that I can trim off, right? Chris and I have been in the game long enough to be able to do that. That's one thing that makes us effective coaches. It's also one thing that's just caused us to like, how do we learn that? How do we, get those wings? Well, we failed a lot. We learned a lot. And we've been around for long enough to know. I think something that can pull data and kind of condense that process for you can be really helpful because once again, it's just gonna carve massive learning curves in time off of, what it requires people to level up, to enhance their skill or to grow. And, I guess as someone who was a teacher, right? I'm repeating things a lot, in front of students because I want it to get through their brain. I want them to understand. But, if you have a custom, almost like robotic or electronic tutor right there that can tell you like, no, that information's 6 months old. This is what's new. Like there's a lot of things I think within like reselling with price structure,
Yes.
right? Stocks and investment strategies, um, even just like, I don't know, helping even if you were like going there to say, hey, what in this era of existence, what would be the most effective way to help educate my kids, right? Because you guys homeschool, right? That would be a pretty good conversation that you could probably have with something like AI to go, okay, like
Yeah.
help me to deliberate, right?
Some
And you
do
could
use
say,
it.
public school, private school, Christian school, Montessori school, right? Like there's so many different ways that a kid can learn. And if you're just a parent, with a 2-year-old, you don't know all that stuff,
Yep.
right? You can make a decision inside of 30 seconds just based off some quick reading. And I think that that's pretty cool. So I like this resource for reasons like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny you said that. Like I've already started teaching my son how to use Chat GPT.
That's
Mm.
cool.
And he loves it. I mean, here's the thing, like I don't have the bandwidth to answer every single question that he has,
Yeah.
right?
Fair.
Um, I mean, there's some questions he asks that I don't know the answer to.
Yeah.
and he'll ask me, he's like, can I ask Chat GPT? And like it'll pull up an answer,
That's cool.
and he will be satisfied with that answer. Because
Yeah.
one thing we read a lot of books on homeschooling and parenting and stuff.
Yeah.
And then one of the biggest things all of them said was don't leave questions unanswered because that
Yeah.
will deter him from ever asking questions again.
Yeah.
And so, we don't not answer questions. If we say we don't know, we say we'll find out.
Yeah.
And that, in a way, like that's Chat GPT has helped us out with that a lot.
That's cool.
Because he's always asking questions all the time. And um,
Young kids are filled with questions.
they are, but they're trying, it's because they're trying to understand the world,
They
right?
are. They want to make sense and organize information into ways that their brain can work through the world. You're right.
Yeah. So having an answer for every question is important, in my opinion. I also don't want him to deter himself from like asking questions in the future because I mean, that's because when we're growing up, a lot of parents are just like, I don't know, I'm not sure, and then they never find out.
Hmm.
So like, well, if you go there every single time and they say, I don't know, you're probably just gonna stop asking
Hmm.
because you never get the dopamine hit of actually getting an answer. I mean, this is biology at the end of the day, right? Like if we don't get the dopamine hit of the satisfaction of having an answer that we want,
Hmm.
we just we're not rewarded, you know? So, and what I think is cool about AI is like it gives you that dopamine hit every time you get an answer, which is
Yeah.
wild.
That is that's some, I like positive reinforcement, but dang.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you just base everything down to the biology of how we work as humans in a mechanical kind of fashion, that's what it is at the end of the day. It's just dopamine and serotonin and all of these other hormones that are happening when
Yeah.
our eyes see something, right?
Yeah.
Like, and also like the stomach doesn't have eyes, right? Like, so taste is a thing. Like, it's all biology at the end of the day that reinforces why we do what we do.
Yeah. There is a lot of science behind our habits and patterns, and it's undeniable.
Yeah.
So,
And that's why some people start a new side hustle, quit after 3 months or a month, and then go find another one is they get the dopamine high of starting something new.
yeah, shiny object syndrome, guys.
Yep. And that's a very, very, very hard habit to break, especially when you've like started something and then started over so many times, is you're addicted to starting new things, is what it is. Like, and
Yeah.
you've built basically like a road in your brain between your neurons. It's just like whenever I do this, I get this feeling, and it feels cool. It feels new. But once I hit that first brick wall where it doesn't work out, I quit because I don't get that dopamine high anymore.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but all right, well, I think that's good on the AI episode.
I think so. I think so.
Guys, if you guys like this episode, please make sure to, like, subscribe, and if you guys would share these episodes, I would really appreciate that. Helps us get the word out. We're going to be doing these things for quite a while. I enjoy doing these and talking about stuff, and but guys, AI is coming for the reselling industry. It's already here, honestly. Um,
Mhm.
we've been implementing AI inside of Recelerator for probably the past 6 months,
Mhm.
and it's only going to get better. Uh,
Mhm.
and our goal is to, and we've already done this, but I think with the implementation of AI into our program,
Yeah.
going to cut. We already cut the learning curve by about 6 months for people who are, we get people that come and they're at their first $1,000, right, in
Yeah.
profit, and then a couple months later they're making 5 to 7 to 8 to 10 grand a month in profit. So I've seen people it takes them 10 years to do that, learning the long, hard, brutal way, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we do that for people in less than a year by giving them the right knowledge, the right tools. And I think with AI, it's probably going to move that down to like learning everything that you need to know within 60 to 90 days,
Yeah.
if not faster, because you'll just be able to ask, which is wild and
Yeah.
scary. But
Yeah.
but the faster you guys can learn, the faster you guys can make money. So, like Imagine if Navon, like hadn't bought that first fake phone and he like AI could have looked at it, you know,
Hmm.
and it
Hmm.
could have told him that it was a fake phone. It would have. Of course, I don't know too that was one of the reasons he scaled so fast is because
Yeah.
so that's the caveat, right? Is like
Yeah.
that bad experience might have been the reason he scaled. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say this as like a closing thought to everybody. Like, part of the reason we all love Iron Man is because of Jarvis.
That's fair.
Jarvis is rad. And when I think about it in those terms, it's like, cool. There could be something wonderfully beneficial to all of this if we keep it within scope and perspective. And so, like, I try to think of this as like Jarvis, but I still get to be Iron Man, and that's pretty cool. So
Yeah, we just don't need it to turn into Ultron.
that's right.
All
No
right.
Ultron, no Terminator, guys.
For real, yeah. Well, with that being said, guys, this has been another episode of the Smart Flip. Make sure to check out the resources below. Console Kings. If you're interested in Recelerator and how we're introducing AI into that,
Yeah.
um, feel free to reach out to me directly. You do have to basically like qualify for that.
Yep.
We're not just going to hand that out to everybody.
Yep.
And at the time of viewing this, we do have our school community, my school community, where you can go through a 5 video course on mindset around flipping. And then you get access to Buyback Academy valued at $997 for free if you finish the course. But if you don't finish the course within 5 days, you get banned from the community and you don't get access to anything. Then
You have to pay to rejoin.
you have to pay to rejoin. Yeah.
Should.
So don't do that. Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy.
Finish what you say that you're gonna, finish. With that being said, guys, have a great day. Keep crushing it, and we'll see you guys on the next episode of the podcast.